Good morning, Dornbusch. I shouldn't say good morning, should I? Because people could be watching this at night. They could be... Anyway, Dornbusch download 123. Andrew, he's got no time awareness. Michael, good morning. Morning. The beard's looking good. I just wanted to say, for the benefit of our 600 Facebook friends, I like the beard. It's looking good. It'd take me like 6 years to get that going on. That's taken you about 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's coming along. I like it. I'm going to let another couple of weeks to see how.
Bit of grey happening there too.
A lot of grey happening.
I remember when I started 20 years ago this year. Thanks very much for all the people who have been complimenting me on my life sentence here at Dornbusch Partners. I think one of the issues you have as a young advisor is if you don't have the grey happening, people are like, why am I listening to you? So I like this. This is good. Lots of grey happening. Listen to him. All joking aside and picking on Michael, interesting times in the markets at the moment. Profit reporting season. Any results that have sort of stood out to you that look interesting so far, albeit early days?
Yeah, been very early, Andrew. Look, a mixed bag as always. Of course, there's been a couple of good reports. GUD, which is the traditional sort of start, I guess, of the reporting season. They're usually first cab off the rank. I came out with some good numbers. National Bank had their trading update the other day. I didn't think it looked that great, but the market seemed to react reasonably positively to it.
I think it was more so that it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Macquarie was sort of the flip side of the coin, I guess. Their trading update, again, at face value didn't look too bad, but the market, we gave them a bit of a touch-up over it.
I think it's because that market had built up expectations that because the previous result was a cracker saying, right, well, nothing's really changed. If anything, Trump's in, you should be doing all right. And Macquarie being Macquarie going, it's all good. More of the same because, of course, as you and I both know, they have a habit of sort of under-promising and then over-delivering in that result in May. Anyway.
Absolutely. But, it's probably the standout for me, Andrew, has been the Transurban result. Really good, strong numbers. I think 40-odd% profit growth from the same time last year. The Brisbane network performing really well.
Latents must be love hearing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the airport link M7, which they got for a steal, really. But Gateway Motorway, Logan Motorway, the go-between bridge. All of those numbers are coming through pretty strongly for Transurban. So I've got a bit of money to spend on the Logan Motorway. I think 450 mil over the next couple of years. But drop in the ocean. Yeah, but. I think broadly, Andrew, EPS growth or earnings per share growth they're sort of suggesting is going to be anywhere between 5 to 15%. A lot of that's going to be driven by a big upgrade in mining growth numbers. Rio Tinto this afternoon. They'll be one of the two bigger players, of course. So a lot of eyes on how Rio Tinto goes. But at face value, some of their numbers should look pretty strong with good rebound in commodity prices, particularly iron ore for the boys at Rio Tinto. So.
And you're right. The market is now trading at 18 times forward earnings. So that's the PE, and the average is 14, 15. So the market really is factoring in, after 2 years of pretty benign growth, an upswing in particular in that commodities or materials space. And if we don't get it, some potential pain. But the other thing we were just talking about off camera before is what are some other potential, and we're optimists, okay? We're optimists. But what are some of the other sort of potential pain points coming down the path? And one that we've identified is Europe. The gift that keeps on giving. And, you think about last year, Greece, and, it was like to the 11th, well, it was more than the 11th hour. It was actually into midnight, and they had the referendum and all that stuff. Interesting times coming up in Europe, in particular around the fact that what's going to happen with Brexit, as in Brexit's a done deal, but how's it going to look? But probably more concerningly is you've got two major elections in Europe this year. You've got the French elections in April, and you've got the German elections a bit later, I think August, September from memory. But that French one's a biggie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because Hollande, the current president, he said, I'm out, because he knew that he was going to get wiped. Isn't that terrible? I can't remember the name of sort of the left-wing replacement, but he's in a big furor at the moment because he employed his wife and his kids. Great work if you can get away with it. It's a bit like the Pollies leaving their gold cards. Oh no, isn't that terrible? And then of course you've got Le Pen, who's sort of the French Trump, if I can use that analogy, a poor one, but nevertheless, who basically is just saying, the very nationalistic, the French don't need to be part of the euro. If the French leave the euro, game over. Game over. And then, of course, as we were just talking about the Italian banks, I think it was Moody's overnight basically took away a complete credit rating from UniCredit. Like, that's huge because, like, if UniCredit get into trouble, they're like NAB in an Italian space. Not that NAB is UniCredit, but, like the Italian government would have to stump up €100 billion to prop them up. One bank. They are in the world of hurt. So again, being optimist, but looking down the path, there's probably 3 to 6 months of some fairly trying times in Europe coming.
Absolutely, Andrew. And look, we've seen that in the actual devaluation of the euro currency as well. So there are some nervous Nellies out there generally.
Technical term for those playing at home.
Yeah, but I think you're right. I think personally, 2017 is going to be make or break for the eurozone. As you say, politically, a lot happening. We thought last year was busy from a political sense. This year is shaping up to be just as busy and volatile. But look, I think you're right. Once Theresa May signs off on the Lisbon Treaty, basically gets the ball rolling, I'm sure there's going to be other potential countries that are also going to put their hand up and go, well, look, it was fun while it lasted, kids, but we're going to go off and do our own thing again, which, again, obviously we just don't know the ramifications. At least the UK didn't convert to the euro currency, so, they kept the sterling. But you can imagine all these countries trying to transfer back to their original countries' currencies. Yeah,
Deutschmarks or whatever it's going to be.
Absolute nightmare. So it's giving me a headache just thinking about it. But yeah, look, I think you're right. Eurozone, as we know it today, by the end of this year could be quite different.
A lot of clients, and I know we're running long here, but a lot of clients are getting worked up about Donald Trump. And look, you might have your own political view. I have a certain view, which I won't share with you. But I think if you look at the fact that from the point of view that as a businessman, and I'm not saying for a moment you can run governments like a business, I get that, but in the context of just economic chops, he's going to drive that like there's no tomorrow. And so for clients who are concerned about the impact of Donald Trump on the US economy, I'd actually argue it's a strong positive impact, whether he goes protectionist and all that type of stuff. So with all due respect to clients who are worried about Trump and so forth, I think you're missing the point. It's actually the Eurozone, if we're saying shorter term, that's the pressure point. And really sort of looking at companies that have European exposure initially, but then, and again, without being all alarmist, if some of these dominoes start falling in particular ways, this is almost like a Lehman moment from a Europe point of view. So we'll keep talking about it every week, but certainly something to be we're very mindful of and keeping a pretty close eye on.
Absolutely.
Michael, anything else from you?
No, that's it, Andrew. Thank
Beautiful.
you.
Thank you. Till next week.